Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout using the Scraptastic February kit. This is the 19th layout using this kit and it took me 58 minutes to complete. I'm showing you some of the products that I may be using. Most of it, I'd say 95% of it, is from the kit. I do bring in some twine and some enamel dot sets from my stash. I am going to use these two pattern papers from Echo Park, and one of them kind of has a play, fast forward, pause, stop, and it just kind of reminded me of running. And these are pictures of my daughter at her track and field meet. For grade 9 and 10, she was on the track and field team at school. When she was in grade 9, in her gym class, one of the teachers approached her and, said, what's your name? And she said, Caitlin. And he said, I want you to be on my track and field team. So that's how she made the team. He said, I've been watching you run in this class and you're fast, so I want you on my team. So she was on the track and field team for 2 years. And that paper right there, I think it's supposed to be probably a football field, but it really looks like a running track also. So I'm going to cut 2 of those out and I'm going to put it at the top right and the bottom left of the layout. And then I'm going to mount my photos on some cardstock. And this is the second time I've done the recording. The first time, because I have a mic, I have to sort of tell the computer, okay, make sure that you use the mic on my head and not the mic on the computer. And I forgot to do that. So it's really low. So I have to do it all over again. So that wasn't the computer's fault, totally mine. So I'm just looking for, I had that bright orange at first and then I just thought it was a little too orange. I wanted it to match the track a little bit more. So I went into my stash and found this one here. It's like a rust color. And I'm going to mount the photos on that and then just cut around. And I don't mind that one photo. I mean, it was supposed to be a 5x7. I cut it down because I wanted to have more room on the layout to put elements, and also there was a lot of distracting things in the background. So this way I kind of focused on her, and the other runners were at the starting line and it's sort of like a relay race. And so she was at her spot and she was getting herself in the game, or in the mode of waiting for that start gun to go off. And I dug through my stuff and I found this die cut, and it's aqua, and then it has a little clock on it. So I thought it was perfect for this layout because, it's all about timing and you're timed. And then this Project Life card had some little banners. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut them out. And that's going to take a few minutes. And so anyway, this, like I said, I've had to do this recording twice, so I always might forget what I've already said or haven't said. But the story for this page is going to be the week before she went to this meet. She actually was in an accident with cheerleading, and she was at the hospital for 3.5 hours, and they thought she had a fractured neck, the C3. And they had 4 specialists look at it because they really thought that the ER doctor thought that he could see a fracture in her neck. And here she is a week and a half later, running and doing hurdles. And so I want to talk about that on this layout, how they bounce back so fast, And I have pictures of cheerleading, and then I'll do a layout about the scariness of that 3.5 hours at the hospital. So I cut down that Project Life card, and then there's other one that said 1 to 5, and the Project Life card was a little too short, so then I'm going to use that Project Life card and make it the length that I need it to be. And then I'm going to use my Becky Higgins corner rounder, and I'm going to round the corners. And the first time I didn't do a good job, so I had to do it again. And actually the second time wasn't much better, but I just said, oh, forget about it. It's just going to stay on the layout. So I lined up the right side first because I knew exactly where I wanted it to end. And now I'm going to use that Project Life card. And I'm going to finish because the card was just a little too short. So I just extended it so that it looked the length that it needed to be. I cut that blue die cut in two. And that's where I'm going to do 2 of the layers. And the banners, I didn't know exactly where I wanted the banners, so I'm going to end up moving them a couple times. And I wanted to use that star that was on one of the Project Life cards, the one that had all the numbers. I'm going to put it there for now, but I don't end up using it on this layout. I had 2 pieces of chipboard, that star, and then the other one that says reality check. I wanted to use that transparency so bad. I just wish it was 4x6 because I would have used it right there. Once I do my journaling, I would put it over top so that it would kind of filter it. And it was orange, so it was perfect. It coordinated with this layout really well, but it just wasn't the right color. So now I'm bringing in some more elements to see what else I could add on this layout. I was looking at the enamel dots that we got in this month's kit. And I only had 2 orange ones and a few cream ones. So I could have colored those in, but instead I'm going to decide on bringing in the ones that I made myself. So sometimes when it stops like this, it's because I'm actually, while I'm recording, I'm uploading videos to my iMovie so that I can keep ahead on the videos. I always try to be ahead on the videos and not have to do voiceovers last minute. I like to have 2-3 voiceovers ahead. So I'm going to pick out some orangey looking enamel dots, and at first I'm going to take yellow and navy. And I just showed you there an enamel dot that got stuck together, a black and white one. And it just made me think, I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm going to kind of stick them together and kind of make so that there's 2 or 3 of them together because it really looks kind of neat. And then these are a little bigger size, so I'm going to take the navy ones from that instead of the smaller ones, just so it has different colors. And then I put my medium ones in the bucket where the small ones are. So I just try to straighten them out a little bit. And then the battery died and I wasn't ready to stop. So all I did was I worked on my title, and it was just, are you ready for this? And I used 3 different fonts on the title, and then I'm going to have a subtitle on one of my labels, and it's going to say Go Girl. And now I feel good about all the different layers, so I'm going to start gluing everything down to the page. And the cardstock that we got in this month's kit, it's sort of shiny blue navy, so I really like the background. And now I'm going to put the bigger cluster of like the photos down, and I'm going to use my ATG gun and glue the die cuts down. And again, if I know what my title is going to be and I have it ready, I just glue it down right away. And then while I'm doing that, then I'm kind of thinking about what my next step is going to be as far as other embellishments, or what's next. What am I going to do that next? And these alphas are both from October Afternoon, the Daily Flash Collection. And this is where I'm going to decide I'm going to put the flags next to the 5x7 photo that I cut down. And then I'm going to use some Amy Tangerine, the really thin washi tape. And I'm going to put the washi tape in 3 spots. I'm going to put that label right there, and then I'm going to put the washi tape underneath. And then I decide to do that 3rd cluster right there underneath the photo. So basically the clusters are all around the photo. And I'm going to glue down that star. I'm going to use some quick dry adhesive, and I'm going to have to put a little bit more and a little bit because it just didn't glue down. So now I went and grabbed my journaling pen, and I'm not really sure. I don't know if it was rolling around on my desk, and that's why I kind of grabbed it. But I'm looking to see what else I could add on this layout. And then this was from Basic Gray Spice Market, and it was a huge 12 by 12 sheet, and it had 6 different kinds of fonts, and I just cut them apart so that it would be easier to store. So I wrote girl, and then I'm going to use my Daily Flash orange ones, and it just says go girl. And then I'm going to put the year. And these pictures are actually from 2009. So I kind of went ahead, fast forwarded 3 years from 2006, and wanted to scrap those photos because, see, I knew she was on the track and field team 2008, 2009. So the box 2009 was a little easier to get to, so I used these pictures first. And this is where I decide that I want to use some white enamel dots instead of the yellow, because it just went better with the page, because there was some white elements and there was no yellow elements. So I kind of changed that up. I'm going to put 3 different colors of enamel dots. And I love that I have so many enamel dots now. And when I get in my mini ones, I'll do another just small video, and I'll just compare all the sizes of the beads that I have. And then I'll let you know then, where I ordered them. And they were fairly cheap. There was 2,000 mini pearls or mini perler beads for $3 and maybe 47 cents or something like that. So really cheap. But I'm sure if you just go on Google and just Google mini perler beads, I'm sure you'll be able to find them too if you're interested. And now I went and dug out some of my twine in the navy and white. I'm just going to twirl it up and glue it down. And I like to use my quick dry adhesive to get those down, including the enamel dots. I'll have to check on the layout. Yeah, the quick dry adhesive did work on those plastic dots. I didn't know if they were or not, because I haven't used those a lot yet. And but they did glue down, which is good. So now I'm going to take out my box and 3 different, 2 Mr. Huey and 1 Glimmer Glaze. And the Mr. Huey in white and navy, and the Glimmer Glaze, I did it in orange. And then I'm going to show you some close-ups of the layout. So now if you want to see some more close-ups, you can join me on Facebook. The link is in the description. I also upload to Twitter, Pinterest, A Cherry on Top, 2 Peas in the Bucket, Scraptastic, the blog and their Facebook group, and Instagram. And now I'm going to show you a few close-ups of each of the little areas. See, I tried to put that star on the layout, but it just didn't work, so I just kept it for another layout. So stand by for a few close-ups of each cluster, and that's it. My page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.